Yes, I'm back again. Good afternoon to you all. As you all know, this is Mr. Larry, and of course, this is online teaching organized by Tendercare International Group of Schools. I'm here to teach Senior 1 Logic, and I want to believe if you follow me quite well, you will enjoy the class. As you can see, I started already to write the note on the board. The topic is Logic. Today, the 6th of May 2020. This is maths, but it's something that has got to do more with English because we're going to be writing statements in form of mathematics. So, as you know, logic is a way we make mathematical statements. These statements are always, most times, in form of A and B. These are the symbolic forms of writing statements in maths. Don't forget, I said already, the topic is logic. So it's something logical. It's something that you have to think. It's something like you have to be mindful of. It's something that when you hear, you'll be able to judge if it is either true or false. Now, I'll read further. These statements are always, most times, in form of A and B. Though we can have different forms, of symbolic ways, of representing or of writing statements. But it is important to know statements or cases are always written in the form of A and B. These are the symbolic forms of writing statements in maths. Now, we all know we have different languages all over the world. So this is why the next thing will be language statements. In your own local dialect or local way, or if it is an official language or way of speaking that you have in your country, there are statements you make. And we have different types of statements. We have informative and we have non-informative. So, language statements, these are sentences which can be judged as true or false. Now, I will clarify further to explain to you what an informative sentence or language is, or non-informative sentence or language is. Now, these are sentences which can be judged as true or false. So it means a language statement or sentence or case are sentences or statements that you will hear of and you'll be able to either judge it as true or as false. So I'll continue with the notes. I enjoy to do something, when I'm writing at the same time. I enjoy to do something when I'm writing at the same time. I love to write, to read. So, going to examples. Okay, before that, I said it can be divided into two, right? So, language sentences are divided into, we have one, informative sentences, and we have two non-informative sentences. Now, for informative sentences, this can be judged as either true or false. So speaking of non-informative, These are sentences don't worry, I'll still explain. Sentences that cannot be judged as true or false. So, examples of questions like that, we have examples of sentences like that, we have questions, we have exclamations, and we have commands. Now, look at what I've written on the board. We speak of language statements. Yes, they can be judged as true or false, but not all. That is why non-informative one cannot be judged as either true or false. Now, language sentences can be divided into two parts. One is informative sentences, the other one is non-informative sentences. Now, when we speak of informative sentences, we speak of, it says, this can be judged as either true or false. Non-informative, these are, sorry, I wrote the "are" 2 times or repeatedly. These are sentences that cannot be judged as true or false. E.g., questions, exclamation, and commands. For example, if I ask you what is your name, can you judge it as true or false? No. It means you have to give me a precise answer to that question. But when I speak of the sum of angles in a triangle is equals to 180 degrees, it's either you tell me yes, it is true, or no, it is false. So you can see the difference or differences between non-informative and informative sentences or cases, or at the same time we can call it or call them statements. Now, I'll give us examples we can have under informative. Most of the non-informative sentences are in form of questions, okay? And if, like I said earlier, if you follow this very topic, it's something you will enjoy. You know, it's fun to have this kind of topic in mathematics. Now, when I say 6 examples of informative sentence or sentences, let me put the X in bracket as the case may be, we have 6 multiplied by 5. The way I express this, I said 6 multiplied by 5. If I write it in form of maybe words, it will be 6 in form of letters, multiplication, sign in form of words and letters. Then at the same time, 5 will be spread out. Equals to what? 31. This is a statement in mathematics. It's a sentence. If I tell you, write in numbers 6 multiplied by 5 equals 20. Equals this. This is what you're going to write. But if I ask you to write all those things in words, I'm pretty sure you're not going to express it in form of numbers. Now, so this is what we call a statement in mathematics. Now, 6 multiplied by 5, we all know is not equals to 31, it's equals to 30, right? But it's a statement because now, as you can read, it's either you tell us or judge this statement as either true or false. It's as simple as ABC. Now, what kind of language sentence can we call this? This is why we call it informative sentence, mathematically proved. Now, you can see this is a sentence because you can always tell us if it is true or false. Now look at it. 7 is less or lesser than 3. Yes, it's a statement. If I tell you, for example, your brother is taller than you. It's a statement. It's either you agree that it is true or you tell us it is false. So when we say 7 is less than 3, yes, it's a statement and it's informative. You can deduce or get an information from it. So it shows that you need to tell us if this is true based on your knowledge or if it is false. Now you can see this is lesser than sign in between 7 and 3. So this is a true statement, right? Because 7 is a false statement. Why? Because 7 is greater than 3. So when we want to write false, in symbolic form, you write F. This also is a false statement. Okay? So it means we have been able to pass judgment over the two statements we have, or the two cases we have on the board. So when we speak of informative and non-informative, the major difference is one is going to be judged as either true or false, and one cannot be judged. I give an example of what non-informative sentence is. For example, question, what is your name? Can you say, when they ask you what is your name, do you just say true or true? Or when they say what is your name, you say false. But if somebody tells you your name is, for example, Abo, oh, you will tell the person, this is true, that's my name. But when I ask you what is your name, you first of all tell me Abo. Then I am in a position to judge at that point in time after you must have answered. So this is what we are talking about informative sentences and non-informative sentences. So I will move further, okay? Because we have a few minutes more to spend in the class. What to do? This is just a quick one for you. You can see this from your maths for Senior 1, which is the book provided by Tendercare Motorstolic. Exercise number 1-1, page 4 precisely. This is where you'll be able to get the exercise or what to do. I'm about to write on the board. It says determine geological statements in each of the following, showing which of them is true or false. Don't forget I told you can denote true with using T and false using F, the first letter. So these are the statements. One says, or cases, the number 21 number can be written in form of N and O, the O dotted at the bottom. Number 21 is divisible by 7. So it's either you write it as true or false. Half, that is 1/2, is greater than 2/3. Then I want to believe by now, if you are following or a smart student by now, you must have written all we have on this part of the board. So I'll rub it off so that I'll be able to write the last number or exercise for this work to do. 3 plus 9 is not equals to 5 plus 6. I want to believe you all know when we speak of this very sign. When you have equal sign with another stroke over it, it shows it is not equal. Okay? That is a mathematical way of saying something is not equal to another. So what you need to do is to determine. Determine means judge. Okay? You are the judge here now over all these statements and cases. Now, the next topic, though I will not be able to finish it, but we just have to start with it. So in the next class, we'll do more about this. Negation. Negation of logical case or cases, as the case may be, as you like, depending on the number of cases you have. Now, if you can read clearly what you have on the board, it says negation of logical case or cases. When you hear the word negation, it means it negates, is different. For example, if I say yellow is different from gray, or black negates white, it means opposite. It's like something totally or directly opposite to another. So let's go further. Join me to write the notes. If we want to negate the case, I told you already, case can be written in form of statement or in sentence. So it's either you say case, statement, or sentence, or statement. So whichever one you have on the board or in your book, they are referring definitely to the same thing. If you want to negate the case or statement, e.g., for example, 1, the weather. This is a statement now written in form of sentence. The weather is not. The weather is hot. The weather is hot. How do we negate this case? The second statement that we can make or create to negate this will be the weather definitely is not hot. So now look at it. Negation of logical case. If you want to negate the case or statement, e.g., the weather is hot, the opposite is what we are talking about. That is, it means it's negating what you have before. The weather is not hot will be the opposite side of this very case or statement. Now, I told you before we can write cases in form of A or B, right? So let's say, or let us say, case 1 is equals to B. So it means this sentence now, we are representing it with B. Then, negation of the case, that is the second statement of case 1, will be represented with this. This is the sign to show negation under logic. So now, let's draw, because we still get to a point where we will be asked to draw the truth table. So I want you to have an idea of what it is, depending on the number of cases we have for that truth table. Now, let us show this using a table. Most times it's called the truth table. So if this is B and this is negation B, don't forget, when you make a statement, it is either the statement is true or false. Okay? Now, so let's say this is the case. If the case is true, pay attention. It means the opposite of true is what? False. What about if the case is false? Just like in previous examples we have false here. So it means the opposite of this case now will be true. That is how to start with the truth table. I want to believe with this time spent with me, you've been able to have an idea of what this very topic is talking about. Don't forget the topic is logic. So we've been able to talk about what logic is. It's a way of making mathematical statements. These statements are always most times in form of A over B. We spoke of language sentences which can be divided into two. It's either a statement is informative or non-informative. Informative sentences are the type of sentences which can be judged as true or false. Non-informative are the ones that ask questions. It means you cannot judge them as true or as false. Then after this, don't forget I gave you work to do just to test your mind if I actually have a little impact on you. Work to do, then the work to do says the number 21 is divisible by 7. It's either you tell us or you judge the case as true or false. Half is greater than 2 over 3, and 3 plus 9 is not equals to 5 plus 6. Now we went ahead to negation of logical case, and of course if you want to negate the case or statement, e.g. means, for example, the weather is hot, the weather is not hot. So that is the direct opposite of that statement that says the weather is hot. So you can see now we always represent cases in form of letters A, B, X, Y, whatever it is you are given in the question. Let us say case 1 equals B, which is the weather is hot. Now, the negation of this case, that is statement 2. This is how you negate a case. That means this sign with B. Now, negation of case can, of course, be shown using a table or be expressed using a table. Now, every case or statement you make, let's say the statement is B. It is either the statement is true or false. So let's say you have 2 results now for a certain statement, for a particular statement. For example, you slept for 2 hours yesterday. Now, that could be true, and of course it could be false. So that is why we have on this very case or statement true and false. Now the negation of it, anything that is opposite of what you think the statement is saying will be, for example, if it is true, the negation will be false. If it is false, the negation will be true. So before I go, I just want to tell you that Tendercare Motorstolic International Schools, now we have a page on YouTube. If you miss this class, you still have opportunity again to go on that page on YouTube, and of course you'll be able to see everything we've done today. And I want to believe you enjoyed the class. Good day to you all. Don't forget to do your work to do. It's very important. This is how to test your knowledge. And of course, when we will meet next time, of course it will be another great time to spend with me. Enjoy. Bye.